Denise, I don't know about you, but I think it's high time we get cars.
Well, something I usually tell people when they say certain things like that to me is, guys, let's remember I'm a broke student. I just say I'm a broke student. I'm not doing anything. I'm not it's I can't afford. I can't afford myself, guys. I can't freaking afford myself. Welcome to TJ Squared, also known as.
The gap and the grind.
Yes. We are two friends at different stages in life. I'm Denise and I'm 19. Yeah, I feel the age. It's hitting me soon. I'm turning 20 soon.
Mm.
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 And
And well, I'm precious and I'm 22. That hits hard every time I say it because I've said it about 3 times in the past hour, and the fact that yeah, I'm probably turning 23 in about half a year. I'm like, wow, what have I done for myself? But yay, 23. I'm 22.
yeah, okay. Yeah, as you can tell, she's very sensitive when it comes to her age. And we all, though, and we all. Every week we'll talk about what it's like living in the gap and the grind, school life, work life, friends, family, the chaos of your 20s, the transition to your 20s, and all the random things that come with it. So, just for a brief, I would like us to do a quick check-in. We've not talked for like a week. We usually talk a lot. And I just wanna know what's going on in your life now. Any fun things happening that have been happening the past week or so.
Well, for now, I'd say for the past 2 weeks, I wouldn't really say my life has been as interesting. Wouldn't be worth talking about. I don't think there is much that's worth talking about because all I've been doing basically is work. Well, I've gotten into auditing now, which is pretty amazing since I did accounting. Well, how did I get into this? One of my workmates had gone on vacation, so I was doing more of her work as well. I was working more, so I was more tired. I think that's also probably why I don't have so much that's been going on in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interestingly, actually yesterday at work, there was someone that came in about one of the clients. I would say I'd say he's probably in his 60s or something. Yeah, and of course, this guy had been hitting on specimen X that's around my age, and so he's
Specimen. I'm like, I don't see. I don't even
he
understand
called
where
the
the word
person
came from, but I
specimen
hear it. I hear it as like,
specimen
okay,
X.
specimen X. I love that. I love that.
That's about my age, not too far off. So we're looking at say 21, 22, 23, and potentially a 60-year-old. If not, he's in like his late 50s, right? So this guy had been hitting on this girl, coming in every, I'd say every once a week, saying all this stuff, hitting on her, telling her I need you in my life, this and that. And yeah, finally, he comes in with a very, very brand new haircut, making him look 16, right? And a bouquet of flowers. Is a bouquet of roses, a whole bouquet of roses. It's not Valentine's Day, it's not her birthday. I mean, great. Well, also that's nice because, such
Yeah.
men are
Now
still
we are.
out there to bring you
Yeah,
flowers
we are
on.
not saying
It's
we only love
amazing.
gifts on special days.
Yeah.
We love them
It's any
anytime, guys.
day,
Any
any
day,
day.
anytime. It's just this is a very different situation.
It
I'm
was
guessing.
it was
Yeah.
quite interesting. And getting a gift from someone that you have no interest in
Yeah,
is something.
it can that's when things become like it seems weird and creepy when you don't like someone.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, he brought in the bouquet of roses with a very, very bright smile, and this girl is like, "This for me or her?"
Oh
It was crazy,
wow!
and
Oh
right after
wow!
the guy left, the girl gave out the flowers. So
Of course, I hear it. Is she dating?
like,
Just to
I
ask.
don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was interesting. And anyway, the age gap as well.
I
And
know.
this is a guy that has kids too. But again, it's a world that we live in, so it's
I know,
okay.
and
He's
I'm like,
probably
I think I haven't quite met anyone that had like a sugar daddy or sugar mommy, to be honest. But I've heard about those stories, and to be honest, I'm like, girl, do you? Boy, man, do you? Because you know, sugar daddy is its sugar mom is its sister as well. And I'm like, you know what? If that's the stage you're at, I'm like, it's okay. I personally don't hate the exploration part of it. Sometimes I'm like, who knows? Maybe one day. So I'll be. I'm not saying I want it or even think about it, but I'm just like, if it does come and I'm like up for it, then I'm up for it. But that was quite an interesting,
yeah, it was quite interesting. I'd say it sort of mid my week was amazing. Yeah.
I can see why. I
I
can
mean, there is
definitely see
much more
why.
to. Actually, now that I talk about that, I feel like there is much more to talk about.
And we are gonna keep that for another
But we'll keep that
time.
for next time.
For yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think my week was the past 2 weeks for me as well were on nothing too interesting because I started school again. I was working over the summer, but then school started. I had to leave my job because it's full time, and a fun fact, I'm doing two programs, university bachelor's and a certificate program. Certificate, I don't even know. Guys, can you tell that I'm very, I don't know if it's a certificate, something short, but I know it's only for a year, but it's all full time. So just having to juggle around my schedules, figure out how to make them work has been very hard, very complicated, and I think t- just for the few weeks I've done it, it's taken a toll on me. I'm like, I don't know. There are so many conflicts, so many things you have to just forego, and then, but yeah, I think that's it for me as well. And since I'm usually on both campuses for a really short time, it's been hard connecting with friends, all friends, individuals, people like that. Definitely been much harder because I'm in class and I'm in a lecture and I have to jump right out, go to the other school. I'm only there for time, jump out, and it's like the travel time's like an hour and a half.
For someone that says they didn't have a lot going on for the past 2 weeks, that's that's so much. That's a lot of new stuff going on in your life, and I wonder how you handle it with because you don't drive,
I
Denise,
don't
right?
drive,
So I
guys.
wonder how
I'm
you handle it with the whole transit, and
mm,
I believe it would take you about an hour or so to get to where. Well, I don't know the distance between the two campuses, but
it's about an hour and a half, to be honest. I say an hour and a half because I could make it in about an hour 20 minutes, but that's if the TDC is fast, if everything's going great, but sometimes it's slow, sometimes you guys stop somewhere, and then I have some place that like just an hour and 15 minutes, so I know I'm gonna be late, but it's like if it's a lecture, that's great. If it's a labs are crazy because they don't let you in if you're late by 10 minutes. No, for over 10 minutes you're not let in. So with those ones it's very tricky, so sometimes I have to trade hours, trade time, and just not go to one campus, which then leaves me with a lot to catch up with when I'm home. And then I finish school at around 9,
dang.
10 every day, so I then have to travel from, usually it's the same campus, one campus where I'm there in the evening, and it's the further one, so it takes me about 1 hour 20 minutes to get home. Guys,
Reminds me of my school days. I mean,
yeah.
reminds me of my days back in school. I'd have school, I'd say from 8 a.m. because I'd make sure I'd put all my classes in the morning. So 8 a.m. to about 2 p.m., 3 p.m. latest, actually 2 p.m. And then by 4 p.m., I had to be at work. I get back home at around 10 p.m., 11 p.m. You have all these assignments to do that are due at 11:59. You've got to end back home at 10 something per se. And ooh, well, the evening traffic was okay because there was barely any traffic because people are back
Oh
home,
yeah,
rush hour
by
is done.
around
So
9, 10. Yeah, I
yeah,
usually it's not
but
that
then
bad.
between me, the time that I take from getting from
Oh,
school
to
to
work.
work, and that was a time that all these high schools were,
I know
all
everyone
high school kids were in
finish
the
at what?
TTC, and they're in the bus, they're in the
I know right
subway
now
making
I
noise,
think
and
right now they finish at 3:15.
yeah, three
So if you're
fifteen, three
finishing around that
twenty.
time, it's
It's
all full.
crazy. It's
I know. I
crazy.
think I also hate that more than the 5 p.m. rush. To be honest, high school kids, it's
It's
crazy.
crazy, and they're making noise, and the bus stops are crazy. The
No,
stop
I
to get
hear
out
it.
of it. But
I hear that.
the grind, I would say that's the grind because damn, that's tough.
But
Yeah, as the
yeah,
weeks go by, I wonder how you're going to do it when you get into the midterms. I don't know how you're going to. Midterms is one thing, finals is another.
I already have a midterm
I
conflict, and I'm trying to get one of the schools to, give me some sort of flexibility. I already have a very very bad conflict. I guys,
Yeah, Denise, I don't know about you, but I think it's high time we get cars.
well, something I usually tell people when they say certain things like that to me is, guys, let's remember I'm a broke student. I just say I'm a broke student. I'm not doing anything. I'm not it's I can't afford. I mean, I can't afford myself, guys. I can't freaking afford myself
I
for the
mean, you're
life
too
I want.
pricey for yourself. Hmm,
Nope. Guys, I don't think I'm too pricey for myself. I think I'm just the right amount of expensive.
that's interesting. I mean,
It just
given
so happens that
the
I'm
whole iPad and whatever is going on,
I need it for school,
was
guys. No,
it
no.
necessary? Was it necessary?
I know, like, no, please. This is, but yeah, school's been interesting, but I guess let's move on from that.
Hmm. But I guess when you look at that from probably what we've said so far, you can tell that there is a gap and a grind. Probably the grind making up more of everything, but there is still a gap.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I think the gap's just it's for me. I think of the gap as more, this whole break I'm taking from work. I would love to be working right now, but I'm also like, school takes first priority for me right now,
Hmm.
and my whole grind is school. I would say Precious grind is work
Right
mostly
now,
as
yeah,
well.
it is.
Yeah, and her
Hmm.
gap would then be school.
I would say that, yeah, because I just graduated in June,
She
and
did.
honestly, just like she said, she would want to work right now. There's so many days I sit down on my laptop and I'm like, oh, I wish I had an assignment to do, but hey,
I
I'm
hear
just
that.
scrolling, trying to find something to do. Of course,
Hmm.
there's always something to do, but it's just that feeling of hey, it's because before I'd be rushing home to do an assignment, and now I'm rushing home and I'm like, hey, I have no assignment. That's crazy. So
Hmm.
it's more of yeah, I miss school as well. But yeah. Actually, speaking of that, Denise, the gap and the grind, where did that name come from?
Exactly what we just explained. I think we were trying to brainstorm ideas we could use, just for the podcast, and it was very. We had very weird names. Will give you some examples. Mine was, I think, the weekend getaway.
That was crazy.
Something I suggested first, only because at first it was a thing of I usually visit Precious a lot over the weekend, and since we see each other a lot more during the weekend than during the week, I was like, the weekend getaway. That seems fun. I think Precious should give you her ideas as well.
Well, I was so. The weekend getaway is okay.
She
it's
didn't like it. You
it's
can. She just. She
it's
didn't
okay.
like it.
It's fair. The name that I thought of first was Waves.
No,
So,
as you can tell, the moment she said it to me, I was like, nope. I don't even want to discuss this because I don't. And she seems so attached to it for some
I am
reason.
attached to it because for some reason, well, I love the water. So I'm like, and in the night when you look at the water and the waves are coming and going, and it's like, oh, waves. Maybe we're coming, maybe we're going, but we're just there figuring it out. It's like the waves are just figuring out where they're going. The water is just figuring out where it's going. So I was so invested in this waves name. And it's like waves, and whenever I'd say, "Hi guys, welcome to Waves," and Denise would be like, "No." It was like, but hey, and I think the other name that I had, probably the most sensible one, was related, but no, sorry, I think it was
No,
unrelated
unrelated
but
but
related.
related. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we did consider that for a while. I was actually like, oh yeah, we could use that only because I felt like it could work just for our dynamic and how we know each other, which we are going to get into. But then the the gap and the grain came up, and it was, I don't know, it. I was just thinking about our lives. So I did one, the name of the podcast, to connect back to who we are and the stages we are at. And I thought of the gap, the grain, just a gap from school, because she does plan to study more. Yes. Do I plan to continue working? Yes. That's the gap from I've been working, I'm now in school. That's my main focus. And then the grind is just, yeah, it's a very different grain, the both of us, but it's a grain either way.
yeah, and it's
And
not it's not just about the work and school. It's also I
no,
don't know
yeah,
whether you
go
mentioned that
ahead.
well, the age difference as well, but then still
Mm,
somewhere somehow all still connect.
yeah,
And
true.
different worlds, different worlds, different countries, because we have I'd say we have people from like different backgrounds and everything, so there is a gap there as well. And then the grind is in basically every other aspect of
Yeah,
life.
I feel like
So
the grain's just
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah,
Like besides school, every single bit is a
everywhere.
grind.
Friendships, relationships,
Ugh,
school, family, everything going on, social life, just
social one,
everything
yeah.
basically. Yeah.
I know.
you
Yeah.
know when you're in your 20s, you're trying to make it as well, or I think when you're in your teens,
Guys,
you're
I
trying to
don't.
make it too. So there is a whole grind right there, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to talk about let's take a step back to the unrelated but related, and why we were strongly considering that name. Apprentice, do you wanna elaborate on how we know each other or
Yeah,
how we got to know each
yeah, sure.
other?
Since I came up with a name and I was so bound to it.
She was.
um okay, unrelated but related. How did we come up with a name, and why were we strongly considering it? One, I'd
I
say.
was a bit iffy, but I was considering it. Strongly isn't the word I would use, but yeah.
So we were strongly considering it because, guys, we thought about this for, like, I would say 2 days. This was basically going to be the name of our podcast. Like,
Okay, yeah, that's true.
yeah.
That's true.
All right. So, one, I would say how Denise and I actually met. I think, well, I don't think I got to know Denise through her brother that I studied with back in Uganda. And yeah, I lived at their place for, well, I stayed at their place for some good times, some good weeks, and just like that. Um, they became family to me. Like a whole family became family to me. They were the family that I had here, considering the fact that I basically had no relatives here. So yeah, it's more like for, like, the holidays, the holiday season, I just come to their place, and some way somehow I actually got closer to her than I was or I am with her brothers. Okay, so it's more like when someone asks how are you guys related, I'm like, hey, Denise is my little sister, and yeah.
I know. I'm
So
also like, when I'm talking about how with my friends, I'm like, oh yeah, my sister. And I'm like, yeah, my sister. Sometimes I think of the moment I say it, I'm like, my sister. almost
Uh-huh.
like I'm thinking, but it's just because we have gotten so close
Hmm.
since then. And I think, what is it, 2 years, I would say.
Yeah, it's 2 years now. Two
Mm-hmm.
years plus.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
years plus. Imagine, I'm like,
Hmm. So that's one of the reasons. So we are unrelated but related. And that's I think that's really amazing. It takes us to, you will meet friends that will become family in ways that you actually never expected. People that you didn't even think of before. So yeah, that's one. The other reason would be that we're both, oh sorry. Denise, do you want to expound on that a bit more,
on what part?
on
If,
the whole relationship thing, or
oh yeah. Well, I feel like she did cover most of everything, how we got to know each other and all. But yeah, I think the time she spent here, we did get really close. And as I said, my name that we can get away was connected back to when she moved and all, just to a new place. I do spend so much of my time there, which was mostly okay. I do spend most of my time there, which was mostly the weekend, and it just felt like that might have been the best time for us to just be filming or whatever. So for me, it seemed like great. I guess but it wasn't. We all love the gap and the grain,
we,
guys. We
we love.
love the
I love TJ squared. Everyone loved TJ squared. I came up with
everyone.
TJ squared.
She came out to just when
She came up with a gap on the
I
grind.
know for some
Yeah.
reason I love to just squared more, but hello, who
Yeah.
doesn't? I'm like, who doesn't? It's so catchy.
Nice.
But yeah, I think that does give a background of just
As trying to
why
choose a name, and yeah.
and why us. Well, if you have nothing to add, I think we should close it off for this episode.
It's been amazing having you guys along with us for the first
Our
episode.
very
And
first episode.
yes, I hope you guys continue with us. And for those that are watching this, to probably, well, this is to the future, to probably go back and be like, oh, how did this guy start? What was their first episode like? And if you're probably watching this, you probably see like, okay, how could my first episode be? You don't start off great, but
Oh yeah,
again, yeah,
because we
you
did that as well. We went through a bunch of podcasts just to
yeah,
see what people did in their first. We did pick up ideas and like, okay,
yeah.
yeah, this is not bad, just
Mm-hmm.
to see how people start. So yeah, we are lucky you chose to watch and or listen to wherever you're watching it from, or listen to it, whether it's YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We are so glad to have you. If you liked it, of related to it in any way, you can share it with a friend who's also trying to survive the gap and the grind. And we all, I'm just like, and we all though.
We all of us are. Doesn't matter how old you are. We all
Yeah,
are.
I think we
Yeah.
all have some sort of gap and grind
Yeah.
at every point in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
Okay, guys.
see
That
you
has been
next
TJ squared.
week.
That wasn't planned.
Yeah, can you
Okay.
tell that, chaos? Let's try that again.
Okay, guys.
See
See
you
you next
next week.